Hello and welcome to the Road to Innsmouth. Join us as we take a journey into the world of the strange, creepy and unexplained. We're your hosts, I'm Matt.
I'm Gareth.
We'd first like to thank all of you who have subscribed to our YouTube channel and downloaded our podcast, as well as follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We really appreciate it, and we hope to keep bringing you great content that you really like. So, welcome back everyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why I picked this.
I don't know.
Well, I was searching for something and I found it.
It's quite interesting.
It came up, it came up after looking for something else. So I can't remember one of the last podcasts we did. It came up. Must have been Owlman or something like that. Flying cryptids. I don't know, but yeah, this is quite I thought it was quite interesting. Like a DC character or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
The name of it is anyway, Batsquatch. I don't know why it's called. Well, even with the descriptions that I've read, it doesn't really scream Sasquatch. So where they got the squatch from, I don't know. I'm guessing just because it's a humanoid.
Yeah.
Anything that's humanoid is a squatch. Like Sasquatch, Batsquatch. I think Sasquatch is quite big in Washington, D.C. though. Like one of their main cryptids, as well as a couple of sea creatures or lake creatures, and obviously Batsquatch. But, yeah, so this all started back in so it was the morning of the 18th of May, 1980, when Mount St. Helens erupted, causing devastation across trees, buildings. Over 230 square miles were destroyed. Ash from it was carried over 2 states. Like the worst disaster in US history to date, from natural disaster.
Wow.
There's like 1.5 million metric tons of sulfur dioxide into the air, and an avalanche obliterated trees and for miles around. I think, I'm not too sure. I did have, but the mountain itself, the volcano itself, was 9,677 feet tall. After the eruption, it was 8,363.
Blimey.
Just left a massive crater at the top of it. The top just disappeared from either, sliding down the side. Yeah, so dozens of people died. Hundreds of homes were destroyed. Animals. Yeah, it was a really bad morning. I think there'd been a few tremors though. It wasn't like unexpected, but what it actually happened was, I think there was someone actually camping on the side of it at the time as well. What you're keeping an eye on the seismic activity from it and everything like that. I don't know if he got off. I didn't actually read anything. But during that, people started to see this 9-foot tall flying creature within the devastation. So that's where some people said it was like maybe an omen, a bit like Mothman.
Yeah.
Was there because was either there to warn people or was there just to watch. Maybe he just got kicks. But yeah, he was 9 foot tall, bluishy purple skin, red and yellow eyes, leathery-like bat wings, bird-like feet, like talons, and a face like a wolf. Though some people say gorilla, so maybe if you say wolf, I'm thinking bat, that sort of face.
Yeah.
If you're saying gorilla, then I'm thinking that's where the Sasquatch part came from.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But people, if he's got big wings, you first thought maybe he's a bat face. If you're thinking if it stood there, maybe you're thinking Sasquatch. So you're seeing all the stories of the 1980s. Like there was wild animals were taken, farms, like the odd goat, the odd sheep, the odd cow disappeared, but there was no sort of official reports of it. Now I can find there's reports of it being seen at the time, but not in the 1980s. It all was reported afterwards.
Yeah.
So the actual first official report.
There's no contemporary accounts at the time.
No, it's all sort of. It's like people saying, "Oh, it started in the 1980s." It started in the 1980s. You go and look through papers in the 1980s. There isn't any.
Yeah.
But in 1994, people seem to take it more seriously, and it started appearing in the papers. But in 1994, Brian Cranford was driving through Washington, which his county is in Washington State and isn't too far from Mount Helens, St. Helens, but it's in that mountain range.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the Horseshoe, and there's a few mountains in that, or volcanoes in that range.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so Cranford's driving along in his truck, and it's only just stopped. And in front of him, he saw a human-like figure, 9 foot tall, with bat wings, and he said it was covered in a blue fur. And then when it flew away, I don't know if he said it flapped its wings or just sort of took off. But as soon as it was gone, his truck started again, and he was able.
Yeah, I've got a bit here that said later on. Yeah, I don't know. This was a separate report. It wasn't the first one I read. It didn't mention this, but another one it said, after an undisclosed amount of time, the creature unfolded its wings and took off with so much force that actually his truck shook.
Oh, right, I didn't see that.
And then it started again.
I've read about
I only saw that in one thing.
yeah,
So I don't know if that was a bit of a poetic license or not.
maybe because I've read about 4 or 5 different ones on different websites.
And most of them don't mention it, do they? They just say it.
No, they just say it stopped and he watched it take off in front of him, but none of them say whether it flapped its wings. Well, that one did.
Yeah. Well, it said
Mothman.
unfolded its wings and then took off, but it didn't say. It actually doesn't say whether it flaps its wings.
All right, because that's the same thing with Mothman, isn't it? You never hear him flapping his wings. But then, also that year, Butch saw it, and he was a mountain climber in the area, but he was also a pilot, and it was a clear afternoon, so he decided to take his plane out for a flight, and he was flying by Mount Rainier, which is about 100 miles down, but it's still part of the same range.
Mm-hmm.
So he was flying past there, and this thing flew next to him, kept pace with his plane for a few minutes before flying off. So he was flying along, and then suddenly looked out of his window. There alongside him was Batsquatch.
Oh,
and then he
interesting.
Yeah, but then it doesn't. It's weird because you can stop a car, so that's sort of all supernatural, isn't it? You start the car, it doesn't start. That's kind of weird. But he flew next to this plane, and the plane didn't stop.
Yeah.
And carried on. And I'm sure I read it in one of these reports. He actually took pictures of it.
Okay.
But I couldn't find them anywhere. I found some pictures, and it just was a lot of purple pixels that looked like someone had just put over a photo. Like they were too bright and too fake to be part of that photo.
Yeah.
It looked like someone was just trying to make a picture of it. I don't know what they were trying to do. It's just weird. It looked like a satellite photo. You know, sometimes really old satellite photos are like pixelated areas. Yeah. It looked like that, of this purple weird shape that they were saying was obviously. But his pictures that he's supposed to have taken from the plane, they don't seem to be anywhere. No. So whether he didn't publicise them or...
Yeah, he may just not have publicised it, or it may not have come out. He may, may not.
Yeah, he also... I think Butch also rung the local liquor store, so not many people took him seriously.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I've read in some of the stories and some others, so I don't know how true that is. I know he was a mountaineer, he was a pilot, and he run the local liquor store. I'm guessing, doing those two activities, flying and mountaineering, I wouldn't have thought just because he runs a liquor store, he doesn't necessarily drink that much.
No.
So, but yeah, that was in 94, 98. So a witness claimed to see a logging truck actually hit a creature on a mountain road and then topple over. The guy thought he'd hit a log or something like that and crashed. So the witness, I'm presuming this didn't see. I read one report and then I read more stories that went into deeper details. So I presume they were the same stories. It just wasn't. Yeah, well, this one just said that one of the witnessed a log truck hitting the creature, and then it ended the story. I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I read other reports from someone else saying that they saw a truck hit one of these creatures, and it went down an embankment, and he went over to help to make sure the driver was okay. And when he approached the truck teetering on the edge of this rocky mountain, he went over to help, and then he realised that it didn't hit a log; it hit this enormous winged humanoid that would seem to be fine.
No.
And just went off.
Huh.
So he sort of managed to stop a truck, and unless the truck swerved not to hit him and was on the edge, but he seemed to think the witness said he hit and then was sort of on the edge of this steep cliff.
Oh, okay.
But he said the creature stood about 15 feet high.
Really?
Yeah, so this like double the height of everyone else's description. Well, I say it was the other descriptions. And it had a 30-foot wingspan when it was airborne.
Well, yeah, that is literally over twice the size, isn't it?
Yeah. But then people in weird situations,
maybe overestimate or misremember and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, which is quite often, isn't it?
Mm.
He said the head was much smaller as well in the body, but pointy ears. He seemed to get a really good description of it. He was saying like little pointy ears. Head was a lot smaller than the body, but he also said it was an unusual colour of purple. Yeah, the wings extended, so featuring a large beast. Because it's got wings, not like a bat, because it also has arms and legs. Like a bat's arms are its wings.
Yeah.
This creature is described as having legs, arms, and then wings out the back of it.
Well, yeah.
So he had clawed hands, but his description saying he's got clawed hands on his wings as well.
Okay. Oh, okay. I haven't read that actually, so that's interesting.
Yeah, he said it was a cross between a large bat and a very hairy man. That's where he's got his name, Batsquatch, I think. There was also another sighting in 2009 near Mount Shasta in California, which is a lot further down.
Yeah.
Where several hikers witnessed a huge creature with leathery wings fly out of a crevice in the mountains. But they said it was more like a pterodactyl. But they claimed it had a bat It was more akin to a bat or a fox, like a flying fox. But
Yeah, I've got that one. They said, initially described as a pterosaur type creature, the description was later changed to resemble more of a bat, which is interesting. I think they later got interviewed, but they originally described it as having a 50-foot wingspan,
yeah, I was gonna
which
say
is
that.
like crazy size.
Yeah, so it's gone from like 10 to 20 wingspan to 40,
Yeah, it's like
30
a Mothman
down to
size to
50.
the size of a very large flying dinosaur type
Yeah. Then
creature.
in 2011, it doesn't say where he was, but he didn't use his real name either. Phoenix Tiraz was in his yard walking his dog, and he had to pick his dog up when a winged creature flew over the top of him.
Oh,
So
okay.
he said, "I saw something flying in the sky. It had bat wings, blue fur, and had a face similar. I'm guessing to the fur. I'm guessing means had glowing red eyes. It was about 9 foot tall, and it flew over the top of him. But it doesn't say where he was, and he doesn't use his real name." And then I've got another story in 2014, Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron, Idaho. Second period Spanish class spotted a giant black mass zip by the window of the classroom at incredible speed. The class claims it was about 9 foot tall with a 20 to 30 foot wingspan. See, 20 foot to 30 foot, if you're 9 foot tall, you're going to need like a wingspan of like 20 foot to carry you.
Minimum, you'd think, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 20 to 30 foot.
Especially if you think birds manage it because their bodies are physically lighter. If you're talking
Yeah,
something the weight of us,
yeah, and it's
I think
hairy
the
and it's
surface area of like gliders and stuff compared to the body of it's carrying,
I'm
it would
sure
need to be, yeah.
I'm sure there was I read other reports, but he's obviously spread now to other areas. Yeah, so but yeah, it all seems to be around this sort of they call it the North Volcanic Rock Arc.
Okay.
Google that. It was see Mount St. Helens is part of the Cascade Volcano Arc in Washington State. So there's quite a few of them in there, and a lot of the sightings are in covering that whole area, not just the one. So though he was seen at the devastation of Mount St. Helens, he's been seen in other places along the arc. They weren't, and then obviously into California, these hikers. But though that sounds like it was something completely different.
Yeah.
And then with the Spanish school. And I think there's been other ones, the odd ones, but when you sort of read the description, you're like, I think you just grasping at straws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, also you've got like, there's so many resemblances to the other like flying humanoid type Mothman. You're never quite sure. It depends which one someone's familiar with, which one they might link it to.
yeah. I was trying to find out whether or not there were in '94 when this other one was seen twice in a day or twice in a year. I don't know if the same day, but with the truck and the air pilot.
Mm.
Trying to find if there would be another disaster around that sort of time.
Yeah.
If he actually appeared because he wasn't at Mount. He would appear at the first mountain when it was a volcano erupted and did so much devastation. It kind of feels like it is a Mothman sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's. I mean, yeah. So the other sort of flying primates outside, like primates, would be like the ahu and the orangbati, which are
yeah,
uh, other cryptids, I suppose. So the options are it's a misidentification of potentially something like that, or the Mothman. It's a new type of cryptid, or an old type of cryptid that we haven't seen yet. Some sort of ape that's actually developed the means of flight, which would actually just make it a cryptid, surely. But that's what they've sort of differentiated between that. A complete hoax, I suppose, is probably one of the big ones. I mean, especially around the first set of sightings when there was no actual interviews or anything taking place.
there was reports of missing animals
Oh, was there? Okay.
in the 1980s onwards. Yeah, a lot of people said that the people like the farms and stuff had lost cattle and stuff like that. So there's reports of that, but there's no sort of report. No, I don't think anyone sort of put it down to or said it was the what do you call it? This Batsquatch.
Yeah, I suppose. And then the less outlandish suggestions are it's the misidentification of a known animal, potentially one that isn't native to that area, so people aren't used to seeing it, or people being caught off guard and misidentifying a known large bird or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's how many. You got I don't know, Washington Thunderbird. People have witnessed that over the years, haven't they?
Yeah. It's been,
In a few of them. The only
that's
reason I was thinking Mothman was because of the Chicago ones now.
yeah,
So he started being seen again, isn't he? And
yeah.
wouldn't be unusual. So maybe. But then Kansas City has a winged demon as well.
Okay.
I'm in this town of Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and he's supposed to be 12-foot wingspan, size of a man with a 12-foot wingspan.
Wow.
They call him the winged demon.
Hmm.
There's been a few. And you've got the rope and haven't you? But that's Papua New Guinea, so that's miles away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like a pterodactyl kind of thing. So, and there has been reports of a few of the pterodactyl. I don't know. I think he is. If you look at Batsquatch, is one of their main cryptids now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pop culture enough that it's got a beer named after it. So
Well, yeah, now, yeah.
it's definitely, yeah, in the pop culture references of the area.
See, that volcano, Mount St. Helens, did erupt again.
Okay. When was that?
The last eruption was 2004, 2008.
Okay.
Sure, there was one in the 90s. Made me think that maybe it was 94 when this creature was seen again. Because some people say maybe it woke up. It was, dormant
Yeah, it's
inside
dormant.
the volcano.
Yeah.
When the volcano erupted and woke it up. Yeah, 1986, it looks like there was another volcano eruption. And then 2004. It says from 1980 to 1986. I don't know if it just carried on erupting for 6 years.
I mean, a lot of them, they have like big eruptions, but they just sit there like smouldering, don't they, for can be years. And I don't know whether they mean they just count that as a single eruption. I'm not sure.
There was lead up to it, so maybe it
Oh, was
was
that?
just. So maybe there was seismic activity and everything before
Okay.
actually the big eruption. And then the next one says 2004 to 2007, so maybe that was 3-4 years of it slowly simmering as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, the description's quite good though. 9 foot tall. There seems to be quite regular ones around there with the 9 foot tall. It just seems to go a bit sporadic when it goes up.
Yeah, and the blue fur is quite unusual.
Well, most people say purple. Some people say blue, but more reports say purple. So maybe it's like an indigo sort of.
Yeah, but I mean, as a coloured fur, as opposed to normally it's just black or brown, isn't it? So.
I don't. Isn't it something to do with reflection of the fur that gives it the colour?
Uh, that's true in polar bears, isn't it?
Because if you shave them, their skin isn't white. Their skin's quite dark.
Yeah.
But to do with the light reflection, their fur is white. And then you've got brown bears, black bears.
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, whether that's true for primates or not.
Bats are hairy, aren't they? So not all primates are hairy. Oh, all primates are hairy, but I mean, this has got wings. So we're saying it's a primate because it's a squatch. They're saying it's
Yeah,
squatch.
they're calling it a potential flying primate, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing really in the description to actually say it is a flying primate.
No, they're saying it's fur. It could just be small feathers.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is, it would make it a mammal, not a primate.
Yeah. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
It says here there aren't many blue, green, or purple mammals because they only produce black and reddish pigment. Purple fish, birds, butterflies, etc., get their coloration due to the structure of their scales or feathers.
Oh, so lend it more to being some sort of flying bird
Yeah, or reptile.
or reptile potentially.
That would be a big flying reptile.
That
But
would,
yeah,
yeah,
so they depend on their scales and their feathers is what gives them that purple mammals fur. But then it could just be the skin underneath it. It's pigmented like.
yeah,
But then we don't even know what this is creature. This is cryptid. It's an unseen animal, so
yeah,
maybe it's just the way the sun shines and the shimmer. Maybe
yeah.
when you
Could be.
spend hundreds of years hibernating in a volcano, it does something special to your skin. Or maybe it is just a giant bird that has blue, purplish
Yeah,
feathers.
yeah,
But there's no beak on it. No one's ever described a beak. It's got teeth. It's got pointy ears. But then bats tend to come out at night, so maybe in daylight they do have a shimmer on them.
yeah. Maybe I don't know. Actually, mate, they could be.
Well, it's in the skin, isn't it? So it says livery wings, so it's wings up. So it's livery wings, and it's got purple in its wings, and its skin's purple, not its fur.
Yeah. But I haven't got anything else on it. That was, I think, we covered everything, all the reports that I've
Yeah,
read about it. But I don't know. Yeah, it's a really good story. Actually, I quite like it, and I like the fact it sort of started with an eruption. So that sort of adds an air of mystery to it. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, have we got anything else? Have we got anything else to add?
no, I don't think so. I think that's it with the notes I've got.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Well, anyone listening might know, might have more information on it.
Yeah.
About it's encrypted. It might not even be from this planet. It could be from a whole new, maybe.
Well, maybe. Well, maybe.
Maybe something came through when the volcano erupted. Maybe it did a little tear, and it's come from another parallel where things are purple and not like they are here. Who knows? It's a whole nother podcast, parallel world.
Yeah, I think we'll say that for another podcast. Right, let's sign off then, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this episode. We'd like to thank you all for listening. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and drop us a like on our YouTube channel. We post all our podcasts there, as well as on all the popular podcast hosting apps. Please comment and rate us where you can, and the links can be found in the description. If you would like to share any of your experiences, please contact us on any of our social media sites or email us on innsmouthinfo@yahoo.com. We'd like to give a shout out to CryptidTV. Please go and look at them, give them a follow, both on Facebook and Twitter. They're all interested in all kinds of things of cryptid and strange, and they're a good group of guys there, so have some fun. Just like to say thank you all, stay safe, and we will see you next time. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Stay safe.